Welcome back to the Sunday game, where we're heading west now for the second of the Connacht football semi-finals, as Andy Moran's Leitrim travel to Galway, hoping to cause a massive upset for the right to meet Roscommon in the provincial final. Commentary comes from Cathal Milani.
Back out towards Killian McDade, driving inside that 45-metre line. He's going to take on the shot, and McDade gets Galway up and running. That's a really well-taken score from the midfielder. Leitrim having to be patient, working his way inside. Kieran Cullen. Now it's Ryan O'Rourke. That's a lovely measured ball inside. Donal Rinn is there. He's got it to Rinn. Slots it over. That's a fine score from Leitrim. And they're back on level terms. Walsh drives through the gap, and now things opening up for Galway. Finnerty back outside to Walsh once again. Thought about the shot, but instead opts to recycle to Paul Conroy. Oh, that's a gorgeous score from Paul Conroy. Well, he floated that one up on the wing. McDade once more has made a good start here. Shane Walsh into McDade once again now. Going at the challenge and taking on the shot. He's got one already. He's got two. Killian McDade. Good build-up play here from Leitrim. Here's Ryan O'Rourke. Has to shimmy away from the challenge of Sean Kelly. Outside towards Conor Dolan. And Dolan in towards the edge of the D. Finds the range. Leitrim back to within a point. Jack Lynn gets it off as far as Malloy. Has to come back the field, looking for support from John Daly, the centre-half back. Allowed to carry this ball a long way. Here's McDade once again when he's got two, and he's got a third. McDade is on fire. Galway beginning to really assert their dominance here now in Salt Hill. Forward from Liam Silk in towards Finnerty. Measured ball in this time towards Patrick Kelly. Possibly a chance of a goal. Instead, Kelly settles for the point. The Leitrim forwards have had some joy in this first half when they get on possession. Here's O'Rourke once again, the real danger man for the visitors, and he rounds off a good move with a nice point. Ryan O'Rourke. Daly has Conroy for support, and now it finds its way towards the midfielder. He's had a fine season so far, Paul Conroy. Goes again for the return, and now can he squeeze it over? Oh, he can. Just over the crossbar. Galway lead by 7. Walsh. A long way on the angle here, but he's connected with that one brilliantly. Oh, it's kept in just on the end line by Finnerty. Galway sensing goal might be on Kelly. And it's the first goal of the game. It's Patrick Kelly. Good work in the build-up to keep the ball in the field of play. Matthew Tierney, that's a lovely ball in front of Finnerty. Off the shoulder is Johnny Heaney. Finnerty goes for the return. That's a lovely score from Galway. Simple build-up play, very effective. McDade in acres of space has the attacking mark. Short towards Comer. Now Finnerty. Walsh. Oh, lovely jink from Walsh, and now it opens up for Galway. Can they find another goal here? It's Kelly. Inside to Kelly again. Well, Sean Kelly to Patrick Kelly, and into the back of the Leitrim net. Sean Kelly, the captain, spotted the substitute on the edge of the square, and he palms it home. Galway on the attack once again. Inside towards Niall Daly. Patrick Kelly tearing off the shoulder. Galway really driving forward here now at every opportunity. Liam Silk. Another goal might be on here. Leitrim look exposed. It's with Daly. And Niall Daly's shot finds the back of the net via a big deflection. It's a third goal for Galway. Here goes Leitrim. Keith Byrne, introduced as a substitute here, had a fine league campaign. And Byrne gets a shot away, and he splits the post. Nice score from the Mohill man. Walsh carrying possession forward. 2 Leitrim defenders for company. Owen Gallagher, the substitute, gets it off again. This is good hands from Galway, and Gallagher is looking for the return. Here's another goal chance, and it's a fourth goal for Galway. Owen Gallagher gets on the end of a fine move. And there's the full-time whistle, and Galway through to the Connacht final where they'll play Roscommon. It's finished in Salthill. Galway 420, Leitrim 9 points.
Yeah, look, we're pleased enough to get through the game. Semi-finals are all about winning them and getting to a final, and that's what we did. And it's very pleasing with the way we played, and pleasing with the scoreline, so it's great. All we could have done before the match was to get the tickets into the Connacht final, and that's what we've done.
Yeah, I think the first half, for the majority of the first half, up to about 31st, 32nd minute, I thought we did really, really well. We were really competitive, competing around the middle of the field. But at the end of that first half and into the second half, the conditioning and the skill level of the goal the boys just told, and we struggled to go with it over the course of the 70 minutes.
Yeah, well, there's a few interesting points to come out of that. Did we learn anything about Galway in that show?
I don't think we learn anything about either side. It's really and truly Galway were there to tick a box, and for the teams that are in the lower part of Division 4, you've got 3 competitions. You've got the league, you've got the provincial championships, and now the Tailteann Cup. Provincial championships are probably the least priority, unfortunately.
But for Andy Moran there was talking it up. I mean, we can see now who's in the Tailteann Cup. But for some of these teams, I mean, you made the point today when we were watching the match. Leitrim beat London, but London are pretty less damage going into the Tailteann Cup.
Yeah, I watched that game a couple of weeks ago, and it was nip and tuck towards the end. I was thinking, for London to keep this whole thing together, because they've had a great season, they're probably better not going and taking an absolute tanking from Galway.
Yeah, but when we look at these teams, Colin, it could be a great competition. Lots of even matches, not one-sided matches like today.
Well, there's a reason why the league is so enjoyable. Is because teams are competing against people at their level, and unfortunately, Leitrim can't do that in Connacht, and it's a waste of time for Galway. It's a waste of time for Leitrim. It's just not competitive, and it's like, if I was a Leitrim player, that's soul destroying going out there, knowing you're not going to win, lose by 20 points or more. Like, where is the prospects? Where is the opportunity? So
it's almost like a form of football bullying, in a sense. I was down in the Mayo Leitrim game last year in Castlebar, and I don't like being patronising, but I sort of feel a little bit sorry for the Leitrim players, because they were maybe 15 points down after 20 minutes, and it was a matter of seeing out the game, but they had very little hope.
Yeah, the former Leitrim manager Terry Hyland was on the radio with us yesterday on Saturday Sport, and he said, Joanne asked him about, do you talk about beating Galway or Mayo? He spoke about when they got promoted from Division 4, they were buzzing, but they were going into a Connacht title championship with Galway, Roscommon, Mayo, who were all in top form, and you're not going to beat them, but you have to talk it up. And he says it's very difficult to do that. But he said they get tanked then by Mayo, for instance. It damages morale of the management, the players, the supporters, county board officials. It really does make you wonder.
Yeah, it's not a one-off. We saw Wexford take a beating last week. We're seeing Leitrim this week. Unfortunately, the systems we have, the provincial systems, are still going to throw out these, because we have these giants of counties going up against minnows year in, year out.
But can't this be very good? I'm excited about the Tailteann Cup. I know there's mixed views. I think it could be great.
well, it does, and I listen to Terry on when you were chatting this. His concern is about the coverage that it gets and the profile that it gets, and when the games being Croke Park and televised and things like that. So if it's given what it deserves, it can be a success for sure. But days like this don't do anything for Leitrim in terms of damaging their confidence and things. But that surely has to be a better prospect than going out in the Connacht Championship.
Yeah, like the 16 teams go into the Tailteann Cup, as you probably know. So there'll be 8 matches and then 4 matches. But those 8 teams that are playing the 4 matches, the reward for them is the 2 semi-finals will be in Croke Park together, televised live, and the final will be live in Croke Park. And that's a big
plus. There's some brilliant players. You're seeing Keith Byrne there for Leitrim, like Ben Brosnan for Wexford, we saw him a couple of weeks ago. There's lots of brilliant players out there that don't get the airtime. If their provincial game doesn't happen to be on TV or whatnot, you could like that person doesn't really get to display how good. The international rules used to be a great place for someone coming from a weaker county and showing that they can mix it with the best. So you're sort of hoping that we're going to get to see those players in this competition.
Might do that. I hope it will do. All right. Well, now let's see what happened in this weekend's All Ireland Under-20 football semi-finals. They featured Kerry against Tyrone and